What's up, Klamath Falls? This is Mike.
What's up, Klamath Falls? This is Dave.
Hey, did you miss us?
Yeah, we were tardy, absent, MIA.
We promised to follow up, and, well, we failed miserably at that.
We shot a couple.
We did throw a couple of little reels out there.
Yeah, Facebook
If you follow us on Facebook,
Yeah.
Which you should if you're not, because that's how you know what's going on.
Yeah, we hit you out from all kinds of angles. But yeah, we were on a little vacay, and we kept track of what was happening here. Look at that, just for you guys.
We had a good time. If you missed it, we went to Louisville, Kentucky, did the Bourbon Trail, went to Bardstown, Kentucky also, which great little town. If you have never heard of it, but you happen to be back in the Louisville area, it's a cool little town.
Louisville.
There's debate on that. And then, we went down to Nashville and did up the whole Broadway strip scene. That was, if you have not experienced that, you need to in this lifetime. It's closest thing I think is Fremont Street in Vegas.
Yeah, no gambling. If you like partying with no gambling, I guess that's your scene. I don't know. It was fun.
I almost think the energy level was higher there than it was in Vegas. It was crazy.
Yeah, well, we also got the benefit of a pop-up concert, so that kind of...
Some guy named Keith Urban decided to do a free show one night.
Keith Urban.
So, yeah. Anyway, it's a good trip. Happy to be back. Sorry we didn't keep up like we said we would, but here we are. So, I guess I'll kick off, huh?
Yeah, you won the count today again. So,
all right. Well, I know that there's a bit of a to-do over at Eagle Ridge. Some, I guess, former students did a suicide prevention mural on the building over there, which it's a great thing. Suicide awareness is extremely important. And you would think that it seems like the school officials, school board, whatever, are being painted as the bad guys here for just not having a heart painting over this thing. There's always two sides to every story. And while I completely appreciate the students and their efforts to gain awareness for suicide, maybe talk to the school board first and say, hey, we'd like to do this. We'd like it to stay up for a little while. Is this a good time to do it? Because unfortunately, getting ready for the school year to start, and Eagle Ridge is no longer like a continuation program school. It is part of the Klamath County School District, and it's not a charter anymore. And so it's going to get maintained like other schools in the school district. So it got painted over. And now I think both sides could have done better. I think the students or former students could have probably reached out and said, hey, we would like to do this before just painting a publicly owned building. On the flip side of that, I think the school, unless they had absolutely no idea what that was or why it was there, should have reached out and said, hey, appreciate it. Maybe we can make it last a little longer, maybe not. Maybe invite them to come back and do another one. I don't know. It just seems like a lack of communication on both sides. It's a shame it happened, but it did. I don't think there's any villains here. I don't think any of it was done intentionally to hurt anybody or to take anything away. Just one of those things that happened, so it's unfortunate.
There's no way those kids painted. No, I haven't seen it. At least a wall. You say a wall of a school, but that's going to be a pretty big dude. So there's no way they painted that with nobody giving blessings on that thing.
But nowhere does anybody acknowledge that happened. And that's the weird part. No, I tend to agree with you. And so I don't know for a fact. I'm just going by the information that's publicly available that I've come across, that there was no, they drove by, they thought it would be a cool thing because there's former students there, suicide awareness, and apparently mural painting was classes that were offered. And so they're like, hey, let's go back to our alma mater, per se, and throw up the suicide prevention thing. So I don't. If there's a bad guy, I have yet to find publicly given information that says they were wrong or they were wrong. I think both sides have a little liability at this point with what I've been able to come up with on it. But I tend to agree with you. I don't disagree. Somebody somewhere had to know. Otherwise, I have a feeling law enforcement would have been involved. That's fairly significant graffiti, if you will. But
Yeah.
anyway, people talk to each other. All right. On a different note, I'm going on a spell here. I'm trying to be rant free for a couple of weeks. That wasn't a rant, was it?
No, that was
Okay,
that was
just
mild mannered storytelling.
okay. The next is the Lake Ewana project,
Oh,
and the Lake Ewana project is it's $1 million grant. The American Rescue Program. This was, I believe, a COVID thing. But anyway, the city got some money. They're going to invest $1 million into cleaning up Lake Ewana. And to that, I say thank you. There is very high levels of, where is it? Ammonia, nitrogen, and phosphorus in there right now. Now, some of that, it wouldn't be attributed to the water treatment plant, but they actually put clean water in there. But that being said, the Klamath County Economic Development Association and the Klamath County Commissioners have voted to spend $1 million kind of developing some wetlands and that to help bring, I guess you'd call it a natural source of clearing the water by encouraging aeration with water flow and how the water is directed through there. It's going to be on the western shores, which I guess would be over by Lakeshore Drive. That is no. Over by Marta's house and the propane tanks over there and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I believe
anyway.
so. Yeah.
So anyway, it's $1 million that was granted to the city for development purposes. And man, they want to make Lake Ewana, according to their statement, they want to make Lake Ewana a reasonable recreational lake again. And I don't know that $1 million nowadays is enough to make that happen. But hey, it's a start. It would be great to see that as a lake that we could go water skiing in or kayaking without, coming out looking like a swamp monster and all the algae and stuff that floats in there. So,
Well, the issue is they're all connected. Klamath Lake is connected to Lake Ewana. It's connected to this, to the leg bone, to the hip bone. The bigger part of that, dude, is the Klamath Lake.
oh yeah,
I don't.
but we have suckerfish and blue algae there. Come on, man. I'm trying to not go there. You know the thing.
Oh, man. All right. Well, okay.
That was just, I'm just reporting what I read and what's out there. You know what? If they want to flush $1 million down the toilet, that's a hell of a lot less than they flushed down when they tore the dams out. So there you go. I'll jab that nerve with a fork and then we'll just move along. So what do you got?
Hey, so, well, you guys are gonna have to make a decision, I guess. So, Measure 118 sounds like it will be on the ballots this season, and it's basically taxing huge corporations, but then each person or whoever does their taxes in Oregon will get $1,600 a year.
So they're going to tax corporations to give us a kicker.
Yeah, and instead of, if we're not, I'll just lay out the facts. If you tax those, if that is going to happen, if you tax corporations, that money could be used for, I don't know, school buses or road repair or, I don't know, city lights or city parks or, hey, maybe they could throw a little money at this Lake Ewana thing. So, you offer $1,600 to, or I guess it'd be over $3,000 for a couple. They're gonna take that and go, thank you very much, and move on.
So they're bribing votes.
Come on now.
All right, so you tax a corporation. All right, let's say, I don't know, McDonald's. You tax McDonald's, this huge tax, so every Oregonian can get a kickback. What's a Big Mac these days? $6 or so? Because corporations don't eat higher taxes. This little economics class here, corporations pass that tax increase on to you. So, when you vote for a higher tax, are you going to get a kickback $1,600? You betcha. Is it going to cost you more than that to get it? You betcha. It's just economics.
And I agree with that one. I just, if they're going to do it, there could be many different ways that money could be put to better use. But
How about just not taxing us?
how dare you, sir? How dare you?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's measure 118, and look for that on the ballot. So there you go.
Alrighty, back to me.
Sure. Yeah.
Again, another uplifting story from my side of the table for a change.
All right. Well, you've had a vacation. You should be
I'm happy.
smiling and stuff.
So, reports indicate, according to the Klamath County Economic Development Association, that our economy is doing well. Things are looking up. It's moving up. There are more jobs. There are 100 jobs for every 90 employable person in the state of Oregon. And our local Klamath County gross domestic product is standing at $3.1 billion a year and growing, according to KCEDA. So, you know what? I'm just going to buy into it and be like, yay. That's all I got. That's all I got to say about that.
I do see locally. I do see that maybe coming, or it's already come to fruition with all the little the food trio going in on South Six and Washburn.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon coming in.
Things are looking up.
I'll bust your story, but Winco moving in. So we are getting stuff moving in.
Yeah, things are happening. So, I think it's a good thing. I think that's pretty cool that we're doing good. I'm trying to be optimistic here, and I am gonna roll with that. And like Dave says, there's signs that things are moving in the right direction. So let's hope it keeps going that way. And we'll segue into Winco. Is actually going to be breaking ground on their new store here in town. It'll be at the corner of Shasta and Avalon in November this year. They're going to start building the new Winco. So we've got a new Amazon going in, got a new Winco going in. Keep hearing rumors about other businesses that are looking at or considering coming to town. So yeah, I think we don't need over the top growth, but we need kind of growth, some kind of growth. I think this is in the ballpark of what we need. It's not overwhelming, but it's a step in the right direction. So I'm happy to see it.
And I don't know what your. I would suppose to say that Winco would employ probably somewhere between a Thunderbird and a Fred Meyer situation. So that's
It's fairly substantial.
yeah. I would say that's rather okay. I mean,
And I was honestly surprised, and I have a hard time buying into the numbers that there are 100 jobs for every. There's 90 employable Oregonians for every 100 jobs available, is what the story read. And I'd like to know where they base their numbers off of for employable Oregonians. I bet you that there are enough people to fill those jobs if they pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and put a little effort into it. But that's just me again.
alrighty.
Yeah. So I'm done, and I've done my best to avoid the rant And Bill's smiling at me over in the corner there, so I guess I did okay.
Bill's proud of you? Huh.
Yeah. What's
Bill had nothing else to do the last week, so he's probably happy too.
that hamster doing? Sorry. It's not a hamster, it's a gerbil.
How dare you, sir?
I know.
All right, so I don't. Before we left on vacation, I was gonna pop a story about Andrew Nichols, and I don't know what happened last week because we weren't here. But man, he's just been dragged through the mud. So
And he's a good guy.
yeah, so let's see if I can get a date. I took this or not, maybe sometime. Okay, fine, no. So I'll just call it around 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, he published, of course, on social media because Herald and News didn't pick it up, but he posted I'll just say it, a thank you letter, and he was, congratulations to the graduates, and just thank you for voting for him. Just to feel good, I don't know what you want to call it. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you to our community.
And if you are friends with his Facebook, that's what the man does. And he was basically just saying thank you and just what is that? Like
Heartfelt thanks.
a
to the
heartfelt,
community.
warm wishes, thank you letter. And 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he said a certain amount of time went by. They didn't post it, so he posted it on social media. Kudos to him. And I invited him back on the podcast because
We'd love to have you back, Andrew.
and now further development on the man is he's
Slander.
slander allegations that he's a Democrat, that he supports Harris, and I'm not going to connect the dots, but it's got to be coming from the same source. Allegedly. Maybe. Who knows? But smearing the dude through all kinds of crap. So I think it's fair to say he posted it. He's not a Democrat. He does not support Harris. He will not have a Harris placard, whatever, in his grass.
Yeah, people were saying that they made the association because they saw his and Harris's placard in the same yard. And people can vote for whoever they want to vote for. I don't know if I'm not stating that was fact, that actually happened. But, I mean, if you want to vote for him and Harris, by all means, you have that right as a U.S. citizen to do it. But don't start claiming that. It'd be like saying that, oh, well, Harris is a Republican right-wing crazy person because that person has a Nichols sign in their yard,
Same difference, yeah.
Exactly. It's slander either way you look at it. And I'm not saying that Andrew is that either. He's not. He's a great guy, so.
And it's your yard. I mean, you could put whatever you want in there. You could vote for 118 with the Harris and the Nichols or whatever. It's your own lawn. Vote however. That's the privilege of voting.
Exactly. You just got to do it.
Just don't associate one sign with another sign and go, oh, yeah. I mean, whatever is on his sign, that's what anybody believes in. So, yeah, don't confuse signage. And once again, I throw out an offer to Andrew and or anybody else running for any other suit or any
Office.
Any other
electable position.
There you the eloquent guy over here. Yes, to come on the show and speak your forum. I mean, that's what we're here for, and we are not. If you want to come on, we are not going to mute you. We're not going to whatever you want to discuss on the program, unlike Herald and News, you may so do. So,
I think it's actually time to just flat call out the Herald and News. You guys suck. If you're watching this, you report only on certain things. You won't report on other things. It's you gloss over serious issues in our community. You're afraid to have an opinion. Shame on you. And I won't buy your your rotten newspaper, but I will sift through the remains of it on the internet while it's still available for free. But do a better job. You know, you're supposed to be reporters or journalists.
Well, and
Do
really,
your job.
and if you look at the scale of things, I mean, we're a small town. You don't always hear about anything anymore, and the least you could do is report it fair and equal, or report the
Right.
facts. I mean, I don't, yeah, do your job, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Andrew, we'd love to have you back on the show, and anybody else that's running for a position out there in November, please reach out. We'd love to have you on here, and we do our best, I think, although sometimes I slip up, to be non-judgmental. I'd rather hear anybody and everybody's side of the story, regardless of your party affiliation or views. I'm always willing to lend an ear, and I think you are too, so...
I think we're non-judgmental. We may lean one way or another way, but that doesn't affect me listening to somebody talking about their point of view.
Absolutely. Right. Right. And I'm not going to belittle or judge somebody because of it.
No,
So
no.
anyway, we'd love to have people on here and the more diverse the better, in my opinion. That's what makes it interesting. So anyway, on that note,
Caber, let us know. We'll get you on here,
yeah,
buddy.
we'd love to have you, man. Mitchell, yeah, Gaber would be hilarious. I mean, it'd be awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Shane Mitchell, I got an open invitation to you too, still, sir. But no, and you know, to all you guys out there, like, subscribe, follow. Great to always great to read your comments. We're starting to get more and more of them, and we appreciate that. And please keep it up. And if you haven't subscribed, and a lot of viewers haven't, I look at the metrics a lot. And if you watch the program more than 2-3 times, and you actually kind of like what we do, and you haven't subscribed yet, just going to invite you to do that. The metrics help us to rise through the rankings on YouTube to where we get to pop up to more of a population and get out a little bit more. So anyway, just ask that you do that.
Do the Jerry Maguire. Let help me,
me.
help you, help whatever that was.
What Dave
yeah.
said. Yeah.
Please click on some numbers for us.
So you guys have a great week, and we'll catch you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.